They won't be doing that again.
Good morning, everyone. Just join me in the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hunter with First Christian Church in Mound City is going to do her invocation.
Pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we love you and we thank you, Lord. First and foremost, we pray for protection and safety for the employees on the road and in the offices and everywhere in between. Lord, we pray for wisdom for our leaders to make smart and sound decisions that will be for the betterment of the town. And Lord, we pray that we may never forget that we are merely stewards of your property, that all of this that we have is just blessings from you, and that we never lose our attitude of gratitude. Lord, we pray that you would bless this town, this city, this nation. Lord, bless us in Jesus' name. Amen.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Guess I shouldn't have handed it.
It wasn't a big deal.
Make a motion, or we approve the claims in the amount of $532,591.50.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, ads and abates. I'll make a motion that we approve ads and abates, orders 2024-244, 246 and then 258 for totaling $12,826.26.
I'll second that motion. Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Does anyone have any changes on the agenda?
I'd like to add a 10-minute executive session for financial.
Financial. Okay, with the three commissioners and the council and you. Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I don't have anything.
Okay, with the change that Danielle made, I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda as discussed and written.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'm going to read the sheriff's report.
Yes. Sheriff's report for June 2nd. Total prisoners of 52, 13 releases this past week. Prisoners in of 50, total farmed out of 2, total farmed in of 35, 911 calls of 67, jail contacts of 4,521, total calls for service of 563, civil service papers served of 28, bin inspections 5, New cases open 27, cases closed 10, vehicle crashes 2, SRO activities, they're on summer break. Bailiff contacts 126 with 24 calls for service and livestock out of 6.
Okay. AMR?
Good morning. New documents again. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, Captain Aloy, Operations Supervisor, AMR, Linn County. I've got our monthlies first and then just some updates. On target going into summer, starting to pick up speed. We ran 136 calls with 72 transports. Of those 72, 5 of them were helicopter transports on high acuity patients. Kind of doing good there. Everything seems to be on track. Officially this week, we have our last full-time employee that's in academy right now, which will put us up to 100%. Again, hopefully we can stay that way for a while on all of our staff. And that includes, we actually have a double paramedic truck in leasing. We set that up 5-6 years ago, just were never able to fill it. So if we ever have a paramedic vacancy from this point forward, we just move them. It's easier to get our EMTs to cover than just a certain amount of paramedics we have. So it's kind of a safety net we set up a bunch of years back. We've never been able to implement it for longer than 2 or 3 months. We hope we have it now. The last 2 guys we got have just been phenomenal. Stole them from MedAct up in Johnson County, retired. They didn't want to go back there. Super experienced, 30+ year guys. So pretty cool. And I think Virgil has a lot to do with that, bringing him down where he came from. Other than that, any questions?
I don't know.
Oh, to thank also our maintenance department. They've been doing a great job working out little bugs we have and things like that and getting things squared away for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
Thank you. Randy?
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Higwood, Linn County Emergency Management and Rural Fire. I sent out this week's call totals. We had 4 total calls, brings our yearly total up to 295. After the busy spring, we're kind of averaging out, getting kind of our numbers back to where we are on a yearly average. The other thing I have is I gave Danielle a picture. That is a picture of a 110-foot mobile radio tower. It's a Homeland Security asset. Another county in the region had it. They went to the 800 band radios and didn't have a need for it anymore. And so they asked other counties if they were interested in it. After speaking with IT Director Martin, he said that would be an asset that we would probably use more than we wanted to, but we'd use it for a lot of stuff. So we hadn't picked that asset up and then sent our inventory. There was no charge to that. That's just a transfer from Homeland Security to Linn County. So we do have that piece of equipment available now for.
How would we be using it?
So like, one of the examples would be if one of the towers got hit by lightning, they can take that out, set it up. It's all self-contained. It has its own generator and put the radio system back into working order.
Okay.
Quicker. There's some uses down at the fairgrounds that Chris brought up. He's got a lot more uses for it, and we'll kind of take the lead on using that piece of equipment. But like I said, it was free of charge, and so
Great.
we got it. So.
Thanks for finding that, Randy.
That's all I have, unless you guys have questions.
Anything?
I don't.
All right, thank you.
Wait, do you want
Oh,
to, do you want to address your resolution?
yes. I think Danielle prepared a resolution, and it's over that surplus equipment. This is just a resolution to surplus it. We haven't decided on how to get rid of it, whether to send it to auction. I did have one city reach out to me that was interested in one of the tanks the plastic tanks. Other than that, I have not heard from anybody else on that. Give another week or so, and then I'll bring it back to you guys and say, hey, this is how we need to move forward on it. Resolution number 2025-10, declaration of surplus property. The surplus property is a 2001 Ford Excursion, 103,000 miles on it, 4x4. 2004 Ford Excursion, 105,000 miles on it, four-wheel drive. A 2005 Chevy Suburban with 148,000 miles on it. 7 aluminum water tanks that fit the back of UTVs, and 5 plastic UTV tanks that are 65 gallons. And that's the equipment that fire department's looking at surplusing.
I'll make the motion to approve surplus equipment 2025-10 for the before listed equipment.
I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 And what those SUVs were the SUVs when we purchased the trucks last fall. We were rotating our SUVs out into the stations and replacing those SUVs. So that's where those come from on that.
Okay.
So, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
It's Chastity. I guess we got Amanda. We could have Amanda go if you'd like, man. Amanda.
Yeah, sorry, Amanda. I forgot to put you on the agenda. That was my fault.
Morning.
Good morning.
Awesome. Thank you.
Amanda Snyder, Linn County Health Department. This is our update for the month of May. Maybe. Hold on. All right, guys, I got to start over here.
This is awesome. Good job.
Thank you. Okay. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Okay, client appointments for the month of May. I ran this a little early last week, so I didn't have a chance to run it again this morning, but I know we had some appointments on Friday that probably are not on here. So 154 for the month of May. Some of our May, I don't know why this isn't working. Well,
It's Monday.
I emailed it to you, so it's
Okay.
not
I'm
advancing, but that's okay. So May highlights, we had Women's Health Week that we celebrated for county employees. We had a smoothie social over here. We had 26 female county employees attend. Amber presented at the Mound City Library. She did a presentation on alpha-gal. We had our breastfeeding coalition meeting where we presented the new breastfeeding peer counselor curriculum that was developed by our office. Danielle completed the hearing and vision training recertification. And then last Thursday, we attended the Lacing block party at the Lacing Library.
If you want to exit out of yours, I'll do mine.
Okay.
I just can't do it if you're connected. Oh, it started to go for you.
I don't understand what it's doing.
You can keep going though if you want. I just.
Okay, gotta pull my notes back up here. Okay, so at our Breastfeeding Coalition meeting, I said that we rolled out this new curriculum. So this was designed by our peer counselor, Amber Minshew, and then myself and Vicki Brown. We developed this curriculum that's tailored for our pregnant participants that goes over their 4 trimesters of pregnancy. So it encompasses essential topics such as breastfeeding education, postpartum care, safe sleep practices, and proper car seat installation. The way we have kind of changed how we handle those appointments, we've seen an increase in our WIC breastfeeding participation, and it's been proven to be highly effective in enhancing support and continuity of care. Kansas has demonstrated commendable progress in breastfeeding rates. According to the Kansas Breastfeeding Coalition, the state of Kansas now ranks 4th in the nation for exclusive breastfeeding at 3 months and 5th in the nation for exclusive breastfeeding at 6 months. These figures not only surpass the national average, but also indicate that Kansas is approaching the Healthy People 2030 goal. So that goal that's set for 2030, we've almost already reached that, which is super exciting. So this curriculum was recently shared at this meeting that we had, and we received positive feedback. So we have an upcoming regional meeting, which will focus on discussing the implementation of this curriculum across all WIC offices within our region. And then our long-term goal is to support the statewide adoption of this curriculum to strengthen breastfeeding continuity of care throughout the whole state. So I want to give a big thank you and good job to Amber. She did a lot of work in putting that together. Right now, we are holding pretty steady at 25 to 26 pregnant clients on WIC. As soon as somebody's delivering a baby, we're getting a call that somebody else is pregnant. So we're very busy. We're definitely in a baby boom right now. So I want to just say good job to her. Okay, next slide. This was just a picture from the Lacing block party last week. Danielle planted seeds with the kids so they could take them home. Just some little starter seeds, and they could plant them when they got home. Our community garden is planted and growing. These vegetables will be harvested and used for an upcoming food preservation class later this summer. In addition, produce from the garden will be made available to the public through our Nutrition Nook, helping to increase access to healthy, locally grown foods in our community. We received some additional funding from the Maternal Child and Health Grant. We received an additional $3,000 for home visiting, education, and supplies. So these funds were used to purchase educational items and tools for our Keep Me Safe events that are happening this week. So this afternoon, the health department, along with, I'd say 10 to 15 vendors, will be at the Mountain City Library. Tomorrow we are at the health department, and then June 5th we're at the Lacing Library. So we have vendors that will talk about ATV safety, sun safety, bicycle safety, car seat safety, safe sleep. We also are participating in the Identikid program, where we can fill out a little brochure, information just about your child if they were to become lost or an emergency situation. We will take their picture. It gets added to that brochure as well. It also has a place for the child to bite down onto the card, which then has their DNA on it. Our rock snake starts this week. So we will have rocks in all 7 cities within Linn County. There are prizes for kids that find the rocks and bring them back to our office. Our Deliciously Diabetic classes start June 17th. We do ask that you call to sign up for these, just so we make sure we have enough supplies. International Yoga Day is June 20th. We'll be doing some yoga at our building from 1 to 2 p.m. Ages 2 to 12 are welcome. And then our 4th of July burn kits, we were able to use some of that extra home visiting money as well to put these together. So I laid one on the table there. We did these last year and they were a big hit. So we will distribute these to fireworks stands again this year, and then have some at our office available. They're just handy if you get a burn, and we will add some education in there as to how to not treat your burns and how you should treat your burns. There's a lot of myths out there. Yeah. Butter, mustard. No.
No mustard?
No mustard. No butter. No. That's all I have, unless you have any questions for me.
I don't have anything.
I don't.
Thanks for everything.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yep.
Amanda.
And then our every door mailer was in there too, but you should have received one at home.
I did.
And I'm sure it's on your refrigerator.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda.
Have a good day.
You too.
Justin.
Come see you this afternoon.
Okay. If we can get out of here.
Good morning. I don't have a whole lot for you today. I mentioned, I think last week, or I definitely posted it on our Linn County website page. I just want to give a huge shout out to Frank and Leanne Palumbo. They live there at the marina, but they also have volunteered countless hours working on trying to get this boat dock back in the water. Last week while I was working, or actually 2 weeks ago on that Friday, Memorial Day, I was working up there and happened to look out the window and saw Frank and Leanne on her day off out there putting AB3 down, around the edges of the sidewalk that was put in, that he had also laid the concrete for them at no cost to the marina or the county. So I just want to say a huge thank you to them for their countless hours of volunteering to make that marina even nicer than what it currently is. They also helped solve the water problems at cabin 4 and 1 when we had that torrential downpours several days in a row. There was some flooding in those 2 cabins. With the help of Romero and Robert, that drainage has been cleaned out and no more flooding has occurred since then. So that's good news as well. We're currently collecting bids for placing the metal roofing materials that we currently already have to cabin 4. So Sherry's starting to collect that information. And I just wanted to give a little tidbit of information that I was at that marina on May 24th, working, like I said, learning the daily operations. And I was looking over the kiosk and trying to figure out what we can do to make this even better than what it currently is. And a gentleman from Harrisonville came over with his daughter. They were walking around, and he just expressed how nice the park and the marina were, and said that he camps a lot, goes all over the United States, does a ton here in the state of Kansas, but that our marina is his favorite, that our park is his favorite place to camp. And I just thought that was really cool to hear that. So he didn't know me from Adam and was just carrying on a conversation. So I thought that was really cool to hear. So the only other thing I have is I'm requesting about 7 minutes, Allie, 7 minutes.
That's not.
7 minutes of executive session for trade secrets, please.
So can we go back to the boat dock just for?
Sure.
That is.
It's not in yet, but it's very close. They had to get the concrete and they have to get some things in the water first, and then they're hoping this week it will be in.
Okay. So, and do we have enough support from our maintenance? Do we have enough support from our public?
From what I'm understanding, everything is good to go with that time frame being set up. They were waiting on one piece to come in to be able for them to not be like rocking against each other. And once those came in, and I think they came in last week, they're ready to move forward. So she
I appreciate
is hoping
what they're
this
doing.
week.
I just wanted to make sure that we're still supporting, we're still moving forward.
Yes, I believe everything was going to be ready to go, and she thought it would be in this week. So that was her
The old
goal.
one is out.
Oh yeah, the old one's been out for a long time.
Just confirm.
Yeah. I've been up three times. It's not in the water. So
Sounds good.
Perfect.
That's all I
Thank
have.
you, Chastity.
Yep. Yes, will you
You guys
we'll
wanna
just do executive session
You want to do it now?
It's up to you guys.
We can go ahead and get it done now. I'll make a motion, we go in executive session with Chastity for 7 minutes for trade secrets with the three. Pardon me?
9:32, sorry. I was doing the math before.
Okay.
Trying to
Might
just
take me longer than that to say it. With the counselor, the three commissioners, and Chastity. We'll return at 9:32, I guess.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 No, it's
Mom, or.
Where's no action? Jesse?
Morning, Commissioners. Jesse Walton with Public Works. We have our new Planning and Zoning Director here with us this morning. I'd like to have him come up and say hi to you and introduce him.
Good morning.
Morning, Ben Souza, new planning and zoning director.
Nice to meet you, Ben.
I don't really know what else to let you know except I'm new.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Ben.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, Ben. I've already stacked a bunch on his plate this morning, so he's got lots to do. Emailed you last week. What went on last week with the departments. I haven't been in touch with, well, I did talk with Mike this morning, but I forgot to talk to him about the AMR building over there in Pleasanton. To see if we'd had a leak with that little bit of rain over there. I didn't know if he was able to get back over there and check and see when it was raining to find that leak in there. Next Monday, we should have all the bids in for the courthouse roof, so we'll open those up next Monday, bring those in to you. Dust control. It has been moved to this Thursday and Friday due to the rain that we've had. So that is on schedule to start June 5th and move into the 6th for that this week. 1095, we had discussed 1850 Road. I'm going to visit with Gabe Peppercorn a little later today about the cost for 1850 Road to get it paved. Also, just work up some numbers, see what we're looking at for a cost on that. QuickCom, the individual that I was in contact with them on the construction project, getting those things wrapped up, is no longer with QuickCom. A new guy reached out to me late Friday and said he'll get with me today or tomorrow to discuss where we're at with QuickCom. So just so you know on that, so it'll be another week until I can get you a final answer with those guys with QuickCom. I have some burial permits for Linn County Rural Water District number 3. One of these is to bore under the road under 1095 up by 2300 Road, to bore under there and stay on the north side of 2300 Road. And then the next one that they have, so that one is BP 2025-05, and that's to bore under 1095. The next one is BP 2025-06, and that is to bury a water line from 1095 going west up 2300 Road to that first driveway. And they're going to bury that on the edge of the right-of-way as far back as they can in the right-of-way up to that house. We've been up and looked at it, and there's no conflict with our roads up there.
Okay.
Yeah, the checks and everything.
I do, yep, I do have the check once there.
I'll make a motion that we approve burial permits 2025-05 for 2300 Road, the boring, and then the water line up 2300 Road is 2025-06.
So we're doing both at the same,
Is that okay or not?
I don't know, is that okay?
It's
Should we
tying
run
in with the
separate or
same
time together,
project.
same company? Two different,
It's the same project, but they applied for two different permits. One's to bore under the road, and then the one is to bury a water line.
Okay, sorry. Scratch the water line, the second one. So my motion is to Approve burial permit 2025-05 for 2300 Roads boring on 1095.
I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 I'll make a motion to approve BP 2025-06 for water line.
Yep.
That's my motion.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Paperclip.
I received an email from Terracon regarding the landfill and the vertical expansion. I reached out to Tony Malini to give me specifics of this invoice, of what all was included with it. He emailed me back. He was out of town on vacation, so this invoice that I have is for $8,642. What was done on this invoice, this started from the last one coming forward. He says it was for finalization of parameter berm and channel design drawings, the waste capacity review, updated vertical expansion, minor permit modifications for county approval, travel time, mileage and planning, and site meeting. That was with Al and myself out there. Coordination with the surveyors for waste elevation staking and cell locations. Started preparation of bid package for perimeter berm channel construction is what this invoice is for on that, and that'll be paid for out of those ARPA funds.
Did we get our staking as far?
We did, yes, and I went out and looked at it, and they did a great job. They put how much fill we could put on each spot out there, and it's set up in a grid pattern, so as they go through and fill it, they know how high they can go at those points. So that was really helpful. They did set us some benchmarks out there so we can go out there with our transit and shoot those and make sure.
Did they give any time frame as how much time we have left of this?
They didn't get, because it just depends on what comes in on
I
that.
know, but I mean, just off of based of what we had before, do we have a time frame?
We don't. So I'm going to get with Tony again this week to discuss that bid package of what's all going to go in it, so I can bring that into you, let you know what's all going to be included in there. So when we do put that out for bid, that I know part of it is going to be that those who bid on it need to have GPS on their equipment, so we can get this exact
Right.
as we build this vertical expansion, so that we get it done in a timely manner.
I did speak with Tony Malini myself. He said that when it was originally designed, it was expected to be 10 to 20 years. But it just depends on how many houses folks are demoing, how quickly they're doing it, how crushed or not crushed the stuff is when it comes in. And so it's just really a rough estimate. So the best he could do was put those stakes in to give us a sense of how much physical space was left and to work on that vertical expansion. He also wanted to revisit the idea of expanding to the lot
Back to the east?
adjacent.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Not the lot across the street.
Right.
So
Right.
I did ask him to go ahead and bring that proposal when he was able to do that, so that you all could reconsider that.
I think
So
we need to move forward on that so we know where we're at.
he got the sense that we wanted to wait until it was needed, and he kind of said when it's needed is sort of too late, because it does take time to get all of that situated. So if you all are ready for him to come back with that proposal, I can prevail
I
upon
think-
that you're ready to hear from it.
So my understanding was that we were doing the vertical expansion to buy us enough time to get the other one done. So we weren't waiting. We wanted the vertical expansion done first. And then as soon as it was finished, we were going to put our attention onto the other.
Yeah, and he was kind of trying to tell me that it's something that needs to happen simultaneously.
Okay.
We do need to go ahead and get started on the other one
Okay.
sort of while we are
That's fine.
upward expanding. So I told him if he could come back to present the proposal regarding the expansion,
Okay.
especially if he was thinking that time is of the essence, that we needed to go ahead and do that. And I would talk to you all about whether you were ready to hear about that again.
Okay. I am.
I am too.
Can I get approval to pay this invoice?
I'll make a motion that we pay the invoice of $8,642 to Terracon for the vertical expansion and finalization stuff for the landfill
I have ARPA funds.
out of ARPA funds.
I'll second the motion. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Anything for me? Any questions?
I don't have.
I do.
Okay. Thank you. Just on a note, a couple weeks ago, I emailed you, I will be gone Thursday and Friday this week, just as a reminder. So
Okay.
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you, Jesse.
Did you want to discuss the park release?
Oh,
Yes,
Jacqueline, have you had a chance to look over it?
I guess that is
Parker Senior
Parker
Center
lease
lease.
on that building.
Senior Center,
Yeah.
Parker.
Oh, yes, that was, I looked over it. It's
Thank you, Jack.
pretty standard.
Okay.
Do you have time to go look at it or say anything about it? Ally?
When are they wanting the answer by?
As soon as we can get them one.
This has
We
been
weren't in any
ongoing
rush.
for
It had been, I think, years.
years, for a year that we've been working through this.
I just think the 99 year lease, it was just a long time. But I was also under the impression that if we did have any changes, it's something that we can review again or no?
Yeah.
My concern last week was the direction of the county in general on all buildings.
Okay.
How easily can we get out of it if we change our mind in 5 years?
Okay.
Okay.
It's for the website.
Can you just state it on the microphone? what they report?
I just handed 3 bids regarding the website proposals.
Okay, mine is from Social Managed out of Lewisburg. The estimated design and build investment of $23,971.50 with a monthly hosting of $99.
Jason, can you repeat what you just said?
Yep.
Sorry, I know you're going to qualify them, but
Yes.
I don't know what he stated. I'm not seeing a monthly on here, but
Okay, so on his bid, it just has, so the total for estimated design and build was $23,971.50, and then underneath there, it says monthly hosting of $99.
okay.
So,
So for mine, it's gonna be for Civic Plus website
I'm not seeing it.
build. The total investment on the initial term includes one-time fees and initial term annual services for $26,001.40. And the annual recurring services are $5,919. I'm not gonna go into all the details of what it includes.
No, because, excuse me, what I would like to be able to do is, with the assistance of Chris, be able to look those over, put them in a spreadsheet of exactly everything. Because the preliminary timeframe, they do give their details a little bit differently each, with each company, so,
There's a jump drive in here.
thank you.
Bid I have from Red Logic for the contract signing kickoff is $7,800. It's 20%. Design approvals, $7,800. Development complete, $9,750. Contact migration and Q&A, $7,800. Public launch, $5,850 for a total of $39,000 fixed cost. And then the monthly ongoing services of $450 a month, quarterly accessibility audits, $750 a quarter.
Do you want to put it on the agenda for 2 weeks?
2 weeks, please, yes. Thank you.
thank you, Jesse.
Thank you so much.
Got you. I'd asked Todd to come back in this week for asphalt.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted to go over that.
We forgot about you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Todd Moeller, Asphalt Division. As I was asked last week, I got the numbers of what it costs per 8-hour day for us to run doing patching. I have a sheet for each of you.
Thank you.
That way we can break it down and I can show you. The numbers you have before you are FEMA wages as far as equipment, employees, things of that nature. Every time we run an 8-hour day, it's going to be $8,318. That can fluctuate because wages and everything else, but it's a pretty solid number. The pack oil we use for patching is $2.94 a gallon. That can't be a given per pothole or patch because the length, the width, everything will change the numbers, but it's generally no more than 5-10 gallons because we shoot such a light coating of it. The asphalt numbers, the only thing that will change will be a more consistent, that and fuel. And I didn't include fuel in here on this because the distance we travel from job site, patch, everything, that will change. But the consistent number will be $8,318 every 8 hours. If we get 5 done in that 8-hour day, that makes each patch cheaper. If we get 1 patch done in a day, or it takes 2 or 3 days. We won't know until we start breaking through the road surface and finding out just how terrible underneath is.
I guess my question would be, where are we at on what Peppercorn submitted. Do we have any answer on that?
On,
1095? Did we add 850?
no, that's what I was saying is I'm talking with Gabe later today
Oh,
about the 1850 road.
So we have an idea
So I
what it's gonna
think
cost.
this is great information, but maybe just not an answer until we hear from.
Well,
Well,
this will help for,
like
doing the old military bridge,
Right.
Tiger
Right.
Road.
Well, we
anytime,
Road.
yeah, anytime we set up to do a job that's 150 foot at 24 foot wide, 1 inch thick, it's going to cost us roughly $12,000. And that's giving a ballpark for fuel and everything else. And I understand what you're wanting because right now we're kind of our hands tied. If 1850 turns out to be more of a higher price than what we're speculating, it's hard to determine how many patches we can actually get done. But this is just if we're wanting to take care of the major troubled ones, I've got 6. We can do that number times the estimated cost, which is going to be $72,000 to $80,000. And I only give that just because distance travel for fuel, trucks, everything else, it's going to vary. But the Waddles 1000, it could end up being 25,000 because I'm going to have to do 3 passes on it. The Payne Road, it's a longer patch, it's 300, but it's also 3 pass. Because I will have to mill that road down 1.5 inches, put my 1.5 inches back, and then cap both sides. Just to ensure that everything underneath has got to grade and then we've got it to level. And then if you look at the 850 military bridge, I don't know if I'm going to take off 1 inch, 2 inch. I'm going to try and take off as much as I can to put back as much as I can to get the 3 swags that are in it. I may end up having to go down 2 inches on that. That's going to increase the price as far as that goes.
Because it's going to take more time.
It's going to take more time, more material, everything of that nature.
Okay.
I'm fine with him proceeding with the, what'd you say, the 6 projects?
I've got 6 right now that I would say are desperate. That I would think, because and I just had one thrown on me and I haven't went and looked at it yet. I have to. It's 2000 in Giroux. I was told it is and blowing out really bad. I was going to go up there as soon as I assist with getting my calcium spots taken care of because I don't have another dump truck driver. So tomorrow I'm going to go up to 2000 in Giroux, take pictures of it, see what it needs, and see if maybe it needs to be thrown into the list also. But as far as terrible roads go, I've got 6 that I can say right now I want to get done before they turn into something more detrimental.
I'm good with moving on these 6, aren't you?
I am.
Okay. And would I be able to later on if we figure out the numbers, come in and ask for the ability to do more?
Yes.
Okay, that
I
sounds
say
good.
proceed with the 6 and when you're getting
Let's
close to
start
finish,
there and
come
See
back.
what we get done after what happens after these 6.
Sounds great.
thank you, Todd.
Thank you,
Todd.
commissioners.
One last thing I have is, I just need 5 minutes of executive session for non-elected.
Non-elected?
Yep.
Job description or job performance?
Job performance.
I make a motion, we go into executive session for 5 minutes for job performance, non-elected personnel, Jesse, the attorney, and 3 commissioners.
And Danielle too, please.
Danielle.
Yep.
We'll return at 10:01. That's my motion.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You want mine? Okay.
It's just kind of like.
Was no action from executive session.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jesse.
Have a good week.
Okay. I'll open it up for public comment. Have anyone? We'll close public comment then. You need your 10 minutes now? You want?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Make a motion to go into executive session with Danielle, the attorney, and 3 commissioners for financial for 10 minutes.
Can you please include Stacy Fromdahl, my accounts payable clerk?
Okay. That's my motion.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
This is pursuant to KSA 754319B4, data relating to financial affairs and trade secrets.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We'll return at 10:13. Was no action from the executive session. Enterprise fleet.
The sheriff and Ken are not here yet. Oh, sorry, there's Ken. Hi.
We'll wait for James. Do you want me to follow him?
Yeah, I can do it.
Got a minute?
Yeah.
We got a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need to connect?
I think so.
Okay.
He's on his way.
All right, thank you. This is another question I have.
Yes, they're in the S drive, or sorry, the share drive.
Have we started?
It's gonna be,
Okay.
when you guys tell me to set up interviews, that's when I do it.
Oh,
There's
there's
questions in there.
3. Hold on. I was trying to find the flow chart. I'm like, apparently it's not listed under that name.
The public works admin. It's
Thank you. We're waiting on James to show up for the 10:15.
Yeah, you could recess for 5 if you want.
How long is it gonna be for you?
He said he'd give me 2 seconds, so he said it's gonna be on his way.
I'll make a motion.
He's
that-
walking
oh,
across there now, we see him. So.
okay, we'll wait.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Did you guys want seats up here, or you wanted to speak at the podium?
Come on up.
Come on up.
I'm Bobby.
Morning.
Good morning. How you doing? Doing good.
Awesome. Well, I guess I'll kick us off here.
Okay.
Certainly appreciate you having me back. Appreciate everyone's time, clerk, sheriff's team, and really just to kind of give a quick recap. The last couple of meetings we've met, we've ran through and I went through the program, the vehicle side, the operational side, discussed the budget impacts, the analysis that we put together. I know there's been a few changes on the road and bridge side from my understanding over the last couple of weeks, if you will. So we can kind of discuss that. But in the last meeting, it was requested that I meet with Ms. Palletta, get everything taken care of from a paperwork standpoint. We had a really good conversation. I believe all the questions were answered on that side from a legal standpoint. So for today's purposes, really just here to answer any questions that you might have from the last couple of meetings. And then from there, request that the county enters into an agreement with Enterprise FM Trust, allowing the sheriff's side to work within the budget and accomplish the goal of their 12 vehicles or whatever you wish for the current budget year and next budget year. we are in a really good position from a vehicle standpoint. The 25 model year just is ending, the 26 model year is opening, so we have the flexibility to, if we can get rolling at this point in time, to end this budget year and accomplish all of our goals from an aftermarket equipment and delivery standpoint, as well as be prepared for next budget year as we go into the 26 model year and the 26 budget year. My request, I know we discussed the road and bridge side a little bit on the last meeting. My request would be that the county allows the road and bridge side to do at least one vehicle this year, so that the new road and bridge director and that team can feel the benefits of the program, the meetings, cadence, and kind of have everything set up. I'm not asking for more than one, but I would love for that side to be able to be involved in the program. There's certainly opportunity with the assessor, the appraiser, the administration, vehicles outside, but road and bridge certainly, the sheriff certainly carry the most weight from a quantity standpoint. So again, really
I'm in favor of doing that as well, and I would like to do it in that matter so that we're not just turning over the entire fleet and everything. That way, I would like to test drive this if we may, and make sure that it's going to work for us. I understand the sheriff and what we're looking at there, but on the road and bridge side, I think coming in and dipping our toe in instead of just jumping in with both feet is.
And I'm looking for consensus for you guys to work with Jesse and Road and Bridge. Somewhere between 1 and 5 vehicles may well need to be included in the program in the initial run based on age and wear and tear on some of the vehicles. I told him to make a list, which you guys have. I emailed it to you if you want to look at it, of vehicles that he believes are top priority. So if we could just sort of get a consensus that we can work with him for something for you all to consider when we ultimately do enter into that contract.
Well, like I've stated before, I'm not in favor of it because it looks like to me it's too far. I don't know the unknown if it don't work where we're at as far as dollars and cents. It's
yeah, and at the end of the day, from dollar standpoint, we're not a leasing company. We have the opportunity to self-fund, so the budget's there from a paying cash perspective. We've got the self-fund model, the equity lease law things to do more with less and accomplish the 12 vehicles that they're trying to get in the average age from a sheriff standpoint with the vehicles that the 12 vehicles that we're replacing as 2019s. We're not getting overly aggressive or anything of that sort, but we certainly can do less vehicles and self-fund or whatever the county wishes to do. At the end of the day, we have to replace sheriff vehicles on a consistent basis, or else they're going to get old from that standpoint. So,
And are you saying that you're not in favor of doing it at all, or you're just not in favor of any road and bridge, or what?
I don't, right now, I'm not in favor of it.
At all?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
I'm still in favor.
What are you thinking of from a vehicle standpoint on road and bridge? Are you you think the 1 to 5 is fine?
I showed that he sent. They each have unit numbers. Do what? They each have unit numbers. Yeah, I'm seeing that. I don't know if I have a decision on all 5 because I'm not familiar with that. But if it's Jesse's opinion on it, then 1 to 5. Oh, 1 to 5. Yeah, I'm okay with 1 to 5. Yeah,
And I'm just, I don't want to turn over 20 vehicles. I think, to Jim's point, I think that we need to play it a little closer to the vest from that standpoint and make sure this is truly going to work how we envision it to work, and that it's not going to create us an issue down the road. It's going to be easier for us to pull the plug if we're dealing with a minimal number. We'll know from the sheriff's side if it's working there. We'll have our road and bridge able to look at it and see how it fits for them as well.
I currently have 8 that are detrimental to the fleet that 4 have to be replaced.
Mhm.
The 4 that I have that have to be replaced are going to be immediate. They're aged out, they're miled out, and they're becoming a repair mess. The other 4 that I have are getting miled out, and that's where I'm at. Can I limp them along? Yes, I can limp them along with a repair budget, and the same thing.
And I'm not questioning the 12
No.
on you. I'm saying on the road and bridge side, instead of just us coming in and saying we're doing 12 on the sheriff's. And what was the number initially? 23, 29, right? But I mean,
Right.
I think,
But to cut it back from 12, I know that I could, with miles and age, I could do 8, and that's not turning over the whole fleet either.
okay. And that would be, I mean, is that,
With
what are
12,
you
12
guys?
would be half the fleet.
I think that inevitably, if we don't do something, then no matter what, we're gonna have to raise the amount of cars we buy each year because our replacement cycle is not adequate.
Correct.
So if we do something like go with the 12, we can offset that increase, because if we go with the 12, we're gonna maintain what our current budget is. If we don't do that, we're gonna have to immediately increase our budget and go instead of a 2-car replacement to like a 4-car replacement.
And that's along the lines of, I wasn't trying
I know.
to say that we need to cut back on what you were looking at.
I know.
I think you've presented your plan. I think you've presented your plan on how those 12 will work, how we can see that it's going to benefit us from a budgeting standpoint, you know, and as long as those things come to fruition, then this will be a win for the county.
I'm of the opinion that inevitably, again, the other half of the fleet that we have will have to come online. And it'll be a larger financial burden if we don't do 12 down the road.
Okay.
Working with the numbers, it seemed like it was a wash straight across. What it looked like until we get equity built up into the account is when we're gonna start seeing
The benefit.
the benefit.
What's your idea, Jesse?
We don't put as many miles on our vehicles as they do as theirs, so I would opt out of it. I just don't. For us, I see us doing it, it'd be a huge benefit to us. I mean, we've got trucks that are they're quite old that don't have as many miles. We just don't put as many miles on our trucks as the sheriff departments on their vehicles.
And Jesse, we work with a tremendous amount of road and bridge and public works. I know you and I haven't really met at all yet, and I apologize for that. I know there's been some changes here recently, so I would love the opportunity to keep it open and show you the analytics that we put together before, kind of walk you through the program, discuss. All of my government entities have vehicles that range from 2,000 to 10,000 miles. So if we could keep that opportunity open again for maybe one vehicle this year to try it, to feel it, I'd love for you to be involved with this. I'm very confident we can help. Your average age of the fleet right now is 2009. So extremely aged, and even if it's a wash and we can get newer, more efficient vehicles in here, so you can accomplish some of your goals, would love that opportunity to potentially be on the table.
And we're not
Right.
we're not talking about turning over the whole fleet.
Right.
And it's self-fund.
Like I said, there's very few vehicles we need to trade out. They're costing us money to repair and keep going. So there's just very few in our end that we change them.
With what you sent on the 5, on that email from
Yes.
Jacqueline, is that just the shops? It doesn't have to do with the maintenance truck?
No,
Because I've had conversations about that truck.
the one with the latch belt.
Yeah.
I don't really know that one.
I would like to, out of the 5, do 1 in each shop.
Okay.
15 total. 12, sorry. For you guys.
12 for them, 3 from,
Because he sent us 5.
okay.
But just looking at that, just take the oldest or whichever one you suggest from each shop.
Okay.
I'm assuming you sent one from each shop. When I look at the bins, I guess.
Right, so, there's one from the North Shop, 2 from Pleasanton, and 2 from Mount City.
So Pleasanton and Mount City, pick one. That was my idea.
I'm okay with that.
How many years do you feel like we need to, well, what's the contract? How many years?
So the master agreement that you would enter into today would be that we would ask you to enter into an agreement with Enterprise FM Trust. That agreement is indefinite. That allows us to do business together. The lease schedules from there and the lease quotes that we would sign range from 12 months to 60 months. And from that perspective, you can get out at any point in time. So if we have a 60-month term for a shared vehicle and next year you guys decide this is not a good contract for you, you want out of the agreement, you would pay off the remaining balance at that point in time on the Enterprise website. The team will be able to see at every given point the reduced book value, which is simply the remaining balance. If you ever wanted to pay that remaining balance off, we'd give you the title at that point. And
It would be like we're just buying the car.
So how many years do you feel like we should give it an honest?
2, for sure.
Were there any benefits of going more than 2?
I mean, the contract that you're going to sign on the actual vehicle itself will range 48 to 60 months for most of the vehicles. But again, at any given point, you're going to get out of that.
It's going to be important that every year we're looking at this to determine whether we're going in further or whether we're needing to pull the plug.
And my team will have our meeting cadence scheduled around the budget year so that we're going to bring reporting and details to you. And
Right.
we can come back, we can present the first year, we're not going to have a tremendous, we'll have our, being that you guys are calendar year, we'll probably have a meeting in January, February. We'll do an annual client review. There's not going to be a tremendous amount of data because it's the first year, right, in the first round. But after that, the next calendar year, we'll bring a full year's worth of data. And again, I think that's the value of our program for people and us being here on a consistent basis. So, come January 1, we'll start preparing for 27 budget year, and we can bring that details.
What happens if 2 years down the road, then we decide we don't like this?
We buy
out, but then all the cars that you had sitting there to replace 2, your budget's gonna go up tremendously that year, right?
Yeah,
But that's what we're going to be. That's the same situation we're in right now, Jim.
That's the same situation we're in. I mean, if we want to buy out, we'd virtually be buying the car.
12 of them, and I mean, basically you'd be buying 12 and then replacing whatever.
Or you could
replace.
depreciate it down over X amount of years, or we could sell them and give you the money. There's a lot of flexibility. And that's any way that you can imagine paying for a vehicle, we have the solution for it.
When I reviewed the contract, it did seem to have a general 1-year renewable like built within it because it was reevaluated every year because as we've seen with cars in the last 3 years in particular, like used car values have really changed because of interest rates and that type of thing on new cars. The incentives to buy new cars have changed and stuff like that. So being able to reevaluate them year over year is helping us not leave money on the table so that they can let us know if it's time to go ahead and sell them and sort of take the profits off the table to then reinvest them in either buying a car outright or to sort of re-up on the lease side of it. So it really did seem to be customer beneficial, as unlikely as that might sound from a leasing company, no offense. But I really appreciated the way the contract was structured to sort of allow that opportunity to re-review it, especially year over year.
We also would have the equity of the 12 that we got rid of also to put back towards the purchase if we decided to get out.
So you've pushed for leases on tractors and equipment, right?
the tractor lease is a one-time deal, and you can't operate a tractor for the cost. You can't go buy a tractor for that,
I understand.
that cost. Go buy one and see what happens. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm staying, so.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yep. All right, so we have our consensus.
I guess, yes, we do. However, I think moving forward, is there something that you would want to see from him that he could show, like, just the analytics on how we are saving money that would convince him, you know, like in the future, like this is beneficial for the county?
Absolutely, and that's where our quarterly meeting cadence comes in, and we'll bring that to the team every single quarter.
Every quarter, okay.
And, you know, whenever you guys want us here, we'll attend. And, you know, the first year, we have a extremely heavy onboarding plan internally with Enterprise to make sure the first year goes well. And that's what I really like Jesse to be a part of with us if possible. And the team will meet all of our administrative people, our client strategy manager. We'll have all that set up. So again, we'll be here working with the team from a staff personnel standpoint. And anytime you'd like us here to bring that data to you, or the team can bring that to you, of course, at any point. But anytime you'd like us to present that data, we certainly can.
Okay.
Because what I'm hearing from you, the main concern is you don't feel like it's going to be financially beneficial to the county.
That's what I think.
That's what you think.
And
I mean, you might prove me wrong, but that's what I'm.
and I think that's the objective of our
Mhm.
program is to bring that to you consistently and show you the savings aspects and show you the equity. Again, this is an equity lease. It's not a net lease, so you get the equity at term. And as the age of the fleet is reduced and the operational expenses with maintenance and fuel go down, that's the conversation that we'll be having on a regular basis. So, and again, we can do exactly what you're doing today through the self-fund model. At any given point, if we decide to change, we can still bring a lot of resources with acquisition, resale, et cetera. So we have the option to do what you're doing right now. We just want to, you know, again, I'm confident that through the equity lease model, we can bring a financial benefit to the table.
Okay.
And you'll physically be coming in here and just providing those reports.
So you will be introduced to your client strategy
Oh,
manager.
okay.
He'll take over from me. That's the person that will be meeting with you for roughly 4 times per year. I'm always happy to come back. I want typically about once or twice a year. I get back involved. Mine besides more this type of stuff on a regular basis. But from that perspective, I am heavily involved, and my team will be here, and they'll meet the team immediately.
So if our lease doesn't work, we can buy the vehicle, we can finance the vehicle and make the payments to them and get out of the lease. And it would be, instead of us going out and buying 3 vehicles to maintain our fleet and paying for them all at once with the capital outlay, we would just make the payment on the vehicle. So, I mean, it works both ways.
Right.
So if we decide that the lease doesn't work for us, we still finance the remaining vehicles from them, buy the vehicles just like we are now. Except for
And you'll also have other vehicles to replace after if you choose to do that, right?
we will have
The others.
we are replacing the oldest ones. So by the time that we're done paying for those, we will have others come up.
Will there be others coming up while we're paying for those? That's my question.
Currently in our fleet, we shouldn't. No, like we're getting rid of the bottom of the fleet.
And what a lot of entities do over the years is they start with this to get the fleet where it needs to be from a health perspective. And then at 48 months, we sell that vehicle. We have a brand new fleet of vehicles across the board, essentially. And then we start to roll that equity from the lease vehicles into the next vehicles to reduce the budget and reduce our costs moving forward and less interest expense, et cetera. So it moves more towards that self-fund model as we go, but to get the fleet where it needs to be from a health perspective, most of our entities leverage the equity lease and then sort of a hybrid approach from there.
Okay.
The only final concern I would have would just be, you've come to us to ask for our buy-in as commissioners. Let's say it's not going the way you want it to go, and you come back to us and like, we're going to cancel this contract. But we don't have that same opinion. Let's just say, you can still do what you want to do, right? Or are we entering into this contract as commission?
I
Do you
think
know
it,
what I'm saying?
I think it is, it's a collaboration. I think he's asking us to collaborate on this. And
Absolutely.
if we're looking at it and we're not arriving at the same opinion, I think that we're going to continue to work through that to try to get to the same opinion.
So
Right.
the biggest thing is when I'm coming to you, I'm looking at, do I put the money in for capital outlay? Do I lease the vehicle, or do I make the vehicle payments through a finance company?
Mhm.
That's the only thing that I'm looking at right now. And I wanted you guys to know where I'm at in the grand scheme of things, to sit there and say, okay, how are we not going to suck this to the budget all at once? And, and I did come in to bring you on board because I know, public works and stuff like that, I think it could be beneficial in the long run with the aging fleet of public works. But at the same time, I don't want to feel you to feel pressured like you've got to go with this,
Right.
because we've explored this option as being beneficial to us with the amount of vehicles that we have. I mean, this is what we've found that could work for us. And I wanted you, and at the same time, I'd also come to you and say, hey, this isn't working for us. We're going to put this in, and the payments are going to be 48,000 for capital outlay this year to buy the cars. And we end up buying the cars through capital outlay. But the amount of money that we're spending on cars, and, we are getting 5 years out of our cars. But by the time the 5th year is hitting, that's when it really sucks it to us with transmissions and differentials and engines and stuff like that. And, we put a transmission in a 180,000 mile car. It doesn't make any sense because the whole rest of the car has 180,000 miles on it. And, I just put a $6,000 transmission in it, that hoping to get another couple years out of it. I mean, by the time, and, the other thing is we're extremely critical on our guys. We got GPS on them. We watch their speed. We make sure that these guys are not hot dogging these cars and things like that. So, I mean, it's not like, the Wild West out there and they're tearing the car up just to get a new one, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's worth a try. So. Okay. Is that all we need from that standpoint?
Yep.
Thanks for coming back in, Ken. Thanks, Bobby.
Appreciate all the time you guys give me.
Sheriff? You bet. Thank you.
That's where we're at right now. That is our 6-month report right now with the gym.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's where we're
I
at.
thought it was cars.
No, that's where we're at right now.
Thank you.
As far as 6 months goes.
Okay.
Go from the numbers.
Thank you.
We got like 30 minutes.
Of course, yes.
Anyways,
So
yeah, those numbers there,
take a recess.
the solid numbers right there in April are the numbers that we've been paid for. May has been billed, okay?
Okay.
So.
But not received yet.
Yes, but not received yet.
Okay.
Those are solid numbers.
Okay.
May has been billed. That's a total all the way through May. So May has not been received yet.
Okay.
So if you're looking and you're like, oh, the numbers don't match up, it's because May has not been received. They've just been billed. So, but that's our total. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I need like 2 minutes. I might need an executive session before we start this.
Okay.
I just need to go
Okay.
You're so amazing. Okay. Yes.
So if you replace the road and bridge trucks, is that something that these companies take in those old trucks, or is that something that the fire department would have access purchasing to put? Because those trucks, I mean, we have 2010s with 6,000 miles on them. And so we don't put a lot of miles on them, but some of the road and bridge trucks that are four-wheel drive, we could take and put into the stations as secondary brush trucks.
The way I understood it was they were taking them and they were giving us a payment for
We will get
the
value from them. So
of that truck.
if we wanted to do something else with them, I don't think that would be an issue. We just
Exactly.
wouldn't see.
They told us we could keep them if
Okay.
it was.
That's just something that the fire department, as far as getting another set of brush trucks in some of these stations, that we may be interested in some of those trucks.
Probably just have to pay for it, whatever that.
Yeah, that's fine. I just was wondering how that worked, so. All right.
We'll
Thank
look
you.
into that, but we'll get you an answer.
I just needed clarification on something. You all had given your directive for a lot split at the airport. And I just wanted to know if you guys had, if my understanding was that you all had given the direction to effectuate that lot split at the airport. And I just wanted to confirm if that's what you
To
guys.
take the tax off the behavior on this, basically what.
Yeah, you wanted the lot split. Pleasanton ultimately voted on that lot split. And so now we have to do the deeding work in order to effectuate that lot split. My understanding was that you all had directed that to happen, and I
That
just
is
wanted
correct.
that confirmation. Okay, thanks.
Was that in 2025 then?
I was gonna say, that's,
I
No,
don't have it in my minutes.
no, it was not in
Was it?
2025. It was before.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I need.
Okay. All right. So do we adjourn to the workshop? Or
What time is workshop?
when are the other guys planning on being here? Does anybody know?
We can call them and let them know that we got done early, but we told them it was at the end of the
That's correct.
commissioner meeting, so we had no idea.
Can we call them and see?
Mhm.
We'll adjourn for 15 minutes or recess.
Aren't we,
I mean, a recess.
aren't we adjourning for the entire meeting? Weren't we doing the workshop
I
outside of?
I have more business for.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, let's take care of that.
Go. Thank you.
The appraiser isn't able to be here, but she would like to hire Christina Hart as a new field appraiser, starting at 8A, which is $17.99.05 an hour. Pending passing her pre-employment.
Everybody okay?
I'll good with it.
I'll make a motion. We hire Christina Hart at 8A, 17.9905 in the appraiser's office.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, from the appraiser's office, they've also certified the personal property, real property, and oil and gas for June. She signed it certifying that she sent it to me. I signed it certifying I received it, and we need the commissioners to sign it, please, to certify that you're aware of all that.
Not a motion, all right?
I would make a motion just to be safe.
I think so.
Individually?
I think, can we lump them together?
Well, it's 3 different signatures, so I would say probably separate.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion to certify that the transfer and certification approval of rolls for oil and gas.
Second that motion.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Make a motion, we approve certification of a transfer and certification of approval of rolls for real estate property.
I'll second that motion.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I make a motion, we approve the transfer and certification of the approval rules for personal property.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anything else?
That is it.
Anybody else have anything?
I don't.
So we're gonna adjourn and just have the workshop afterwards?
A reminder that Jason Parker from GIS, he's doing the Lunch and Learn Wednesday, June 4th.
Right, that I'm attending.
Okay.
And I am hosting the Noxious Weed meeting at Mine Creek with Johnny Thursday.
What, for the area, for?
It's the entire
district.
state
Okay.
will come.
Okay. Yeah, I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.